Well, school is almost back in session. We know athletics have already been starting up, and you may have heard of wet bulb globe temperature. Athletic directors, principals, people, even officials use this tool to decide if people should be outside or not. So let's explain it. Okay, the wet bulb globe temperature looks at stress on the body when doing an activity in direct sunlight. So these are the factors that go into it, and this is why we may look at wet bulb globe temperature compared to just using the heat index. Heat index uses temperature and dew point. This is everything that the wet bulb globe temperature takes into account. So temperature, humidity, wind speed, sun angle, and cloud cover. Obviously, if you have more cloud cover, that number is going to be lower. If you have a higher wind, because you can cool down a little bit faster, that number is going to be lower as well. So there is a formula to calculate it, but here's what a device would look like taking into account the wet bulb globe temperature and something the National Weather Service would likely have. So the wet bulb thermometer is right in the middle. It looks at the temperature when there's a little bit of moisture present and what that temperature would be like. So this simulates when we sweat, right? We have moisture on our skin, and that evaporation of that moisture on our skin is a cooling process. So that would give that temperature. The globe temperature is just kind of a black fabric, so it's like the temperature on pavement, or if we were to wear a black t-shirt or black clothing. And then the dry bulb thermometer is what our current air temperature looks like, what a regular thermometer would get, and that's the temperature in the shade. So this little formula here is from the National Weather Service office in Tulsa. So you can see on August 1st, we've got our forecast temperature of 100 degrees, dew point around 71, relative humidity 40%, wind speeds light, and cloud cover, yeah, we've got a most sunny to partly cloudy sky. The heat index will likely be 109, and our wet bulb globe temperature 89. 87 is all you need to start feeling that heat stress on the body. So this is why we use the wet bulb globe temperature, because it doesn't take much for you to exert too much energy and see a heat illness set on. So if there's a wet bulb globe temperature of 80 degrees and you spend about 45 minutes outside, it's recommended that you take then 15 minutes of a break inside an air condition and you sip on water. Obviously, if that temperature is higher, you got to spend more time indoors. So looking ahead into this upcoming week, we've got more triple digit days. The heat index you can see is well close to 110 degrees. So if you know your kid's going to be, playing outdoor activities or they have football practice, just make sure they stay hydrated and remind them to take those breaks.